Paper cutting is an art form adapted to many different cultures and styles all around the world. It originated in China, where paper cuts were used for festivities. Centuries later, they still have a decorative purpose and are a popular handmade gift. Contemporary paper cuts are preserved and presented in frames, especially shadow boxes, to create a dramatic visual effect. There are several cutting methods, but the most popular ones are with scissors and scalpels. Depending on the design, it takes from a couple of hours to several days to produce a paper cut. In this series of videos, you will learn about all supplies, the design, cutting, and framing process. Every artist has their own style, but if you're not interested in designing your own artwork, there are many templates already available online. Here is an example of a very simple template. The drawing is what will be left once you remove all white areas. Therefore, you can see that all gray lines are connected. Once cut, you will have a single piece paper cut. When it comes to paper, it's best to try out several types to know which one you like the most. For very thin and intricate paper cuts, 80 GSM, which stands for grams per square meter, paper is perfect. It is standard printer copy paper. This is an example of 110 GSM. It is not easy to find in a ream, so take a look at sketch pads. Sketch pads are also often produced in A4 size, which makes printing templates at home easier, and the paper inside is slightly textured but still smooth. 135 GSM is slightly thicker and has a very nice texture. It can be found in pretty much any convenience store, as well as craft stores. This is a colored paper pad. Most paper cuts are usually white or black, but colored papers can be used for infills, small pieces of paper placed behind the paper cut. We will learn all about infills in the following episodes. Another option is smooth or hammered cardstock, about 150 to 160 GSM. It's relatively thick and harder to bend without creating creases compared to the other types of paper previously shown. Besides size, weight, and texture, you can choose a matte, glossy, or metallic finish when purchasing papers. Here you can see the difference between these papers. Most paper cutters prefer to work with 110 to 160 GSM paper. There is no right or wrong paper to use, it's just a matter of preference. As for other supplies, you will need a self-healing mat or a glass cutting mat. It's easier to work on glass if you're cutting thicker paper because the blade glides better, but for thinner paper use self-healing mat where you need to apply more pressure to cut through. Glass mat tends to blunt the blade faster. Instead of a flat mat, I worked with a curved one for smaller paper cuts and to extend the life of my blades. To find a good scalpel, visit your craft shop or local pharmacy. You will need a very sharp and pointy blade, so X-Acto knives are very good. Have several spare blades ready because sometimes the blade snaps or it starts to drag paper, which means you have to change it. Also keep a sharp box nearby to discard used blades safely. However, I find that surgical scalpels are the best for paper cutting because there are a few to choose from. This is one Morton scalpel number 18, great for paper cuts larger than A4 size because the blade is slightly curved. For smaller details, use a number 11 or 15A blades. They are much smaller and so the tip is very sharp. I always use the number 11 blade. It is suitable both for cutting curved lines as well as details on letters. But keep in mind that you'll need a light, thin blade for thin paper and a thicker, stronger blade for heavy paper. You can buy a new set of blades when you use the old ones, but be careful when replacing them. Make sure the sharp tip of the blade touches the bottom of the container and that the dull part faces the open top. When pulling them out, don't turn the container upside down so the blades fall on your hand. Use a piece of paper instead. Blades don't appear to be very sharp when you look at them, but they can be very dangerous, so handle them with caution. If you can't find any appropriate scalpel, visit your hardware store to buy a set of precision knives. You can use these 4 blades in this specific set but the other ones won't be very useful for paper cutting. Don't forget to take a small container for paper cutouts. It can be really anything, a cup or a plastic container. An utility knife can also be useful if you're just starting out and don't want to spend a lot of money on supplies. It's the most affordable tool, especially if your scalpel has diagonal indents on the blade and a slit in the cap piece on the bottom of the handle. That means you can remove the used blade, slide it in the opening in the cap, and break the blade along the diagonal indent to reveal a new sharp tip. Now that you are familiar with all supplies a beginner paper cutter needs, here's an example of a simple finished paper cut. Number 11 blade, black 110 GSM paper and some colored paper for infills were used. It's framed and ready to be put on a wall. The next episode will explain the process of designing a paper cut, making the template by hand, as well as digital drawing using computer software. Later you'll see how to prepare, cut, decorate and frame a paper cut. Don't forget that paper cuts make great handmade gifts that will brighten anyone's day and make them feel special. They don't have to be perfect. As Salvador Dali said, a true artist is not the one who's inspired, but one who inspires others.